after the Republicans cut about $1 trillion in federal healthcare spending over the next decade, which is going to ruin the lives of literally millions, the Trump administration has a little bit of money that they want to give out, but they're doing it in a pretty explicitly political way. Effectively, any states that's pursued their very narrowly targeted Make America Healthy Again policies, you can be showered in a little bit of money. Not enough to actually make up for the massive cuts, particularly to Medicaid, that we had done, but it incentivizes them to do whatever it is that pops into RFK Jr.'s mind on any individual day. So they've announced that states will receive an average of $200 million next year from the government's new $50 billion rural healthcare fund. So both of those numbers, you will know immediately, are far smaller than $1 trillion. 50 billion is far smaller than $1 trillion. 200 million, that's not even on the same chart as $1 trillion. So this is basically nothing in comparison to the hole that they've dug. But these first year awards range from 147 million to $281 million. So how do you get this? Okay, so there's a few things you can do. You can require nutrition training for physicians. That sounds fine. I don't have a problem with that. Or restricting purchases of soda and candy using federal food assistance benefits. Like, I'm sure you could have predicted that. Of course it's gonna come down to that. We cannot have one of the poors drinking a pop. That would be a waste of funding. I mean, we can give, a couple more $1 billion to Elon Musk or whatever, but you wanna eat chips? How dare you? Never stop understanding for even a microsecond that you are worse than the good rich people of this country, and how dare you eat food even for a second that might be satisfying or tasty or whatever. And by the way, like, overall, is it good to incentivize people to eat healthier food? Sure, but do you notice the hypocrisy here? Like, if these states F over poor people who are on nutrition assistance, they can't eat anything that tastes good or whatever, that's fine. If like a Democrat or even a centrist Republican says, hey, we're gonna limit like how big a big gulp could be, Fox melts down. And why is that? Why is it okay in one case to incentivize healthier food, but not the other? Because the big gulp thing affects everyone, and this affects poor people, and screw them. Screw them to the end of days, screw them to the ends of the world. You can limit them however much you want because they suck and they don't deserve respect or consideration. But regular people, don't stop me from eating what I want. I personally think if Elon Musk is gonna get so many billions of dollars in federal subsidies, I wanna check what he's eating, What's in his diet? I mean, I know it's mostly ketamine at this point, ecstasy, but aside from that, is he having a little bit of ice cream, a little bit of like gelato or something? No, then we take those subsidies back. I mean, he's accepting far more money than these poor individuals are, and yet he can eat whatever he wants. That seems ridiculous to me. And by the way, it is so arbitrary too. RFK Jr. is urging Americans to eat more saturated fats. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Look, I agreed that we should have nutrition training for physicians. I think we should also have a federal mandate for nutrition training for Kennedys. If they want to serve in the government, they need to understand a little bit about how food works, how vaccines work, but unfortunately, he's a rich person, so we're not regulating what rich people are doing, we're regulating what poor people are doing. And again, if you back when, and I'll end on this, when like Michelle Obama was like, hey, maybe we could like eat a little bit less sugar. What did Fox do? They lost it, they melted down because that affects everyone. It potentially affects their kids, and you don't control their kids, they control your poor kids. That's how it's supposed to work. So if RFK Jr. wants to tell you what to eat, he can do it as much as he wants. If a Democrat does, oh, that's government overreach. Isn't it ridiculous how baked in, how natural that hypocrisy feels to them?